What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Petr Yan says he finally understands exactly why he lost to Merab in their first fight, and heading into their rematch tomorrow, he's confident things will look completely different. Yan explains that Merab's opponents often make the same mistake. They sit back, wait, and allow Merab to dictate the pace. They let him build momentum, pressure forward, and implement his game plan without resistance. Yan admits he fell into that trap the first time. Instead of forcing Merab to react, he allowed the fight to unfold on Merab's terms. But this time, Yan says he refuses to let that happen again. He describes the first fight as one he simply needed to win to get himself back into title contention. He acknowledges Merab as a deserving champion of the division, crediting his work rate, pace, and ability to perform at an incredibly high level. Still, Yan notes that no one truly knows how difficult it is for Merab to maintain that pace, except Merab himself. Only he knows the pressure, the workload, and the physical toll of performing that often. Yan says many fighters freeze against Merab because they're too busy reacting instead of initiating. They wait for Merab to start working, which is exactly what opens the door for him to overwhelm them. Yan says the only way to beat Merab is to go first, work first, and never let him get comfortable. If you hesitate, Merab gets rolling, and once he builds that pressure, it becomes almost impossible to stop. Yan believes he learned this lesson the hard way, and that the first fight was one of the biggest learning experiences of his career. He also admits he wasn't at 100% back then, and wasn't able to perform the way he normally does. Looking back, he recognizes how much that fight taught him. Now, he insists this rematch will be a completely different fight. He feels sharper, more prepared, and more aware of what needs to be done. Yan says winning a rematch carries far more weight because it not only erases a previous loss, but also proves growth, adjustment, and championship-level evolution. For him, beating Merab this time would mean even more than just reclaiming momentum. It would be redemption and a clear statement to the division. When asked about future activity or potential callouts, Yan keeps things grounded. He says he can't decide exactly how frequently he'll fight next or who he wants after this. The UFC usually handles that part, and he's not focused on picking names right now. His entire attention is on the fight in front of him. Once he handles business on Saturday, then he'll see what comes next. But for now, the mission is simple. Show up, go first, and take the fight to Merab from the very first moment. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Henry Cejudo says he might actually be done for good, and this time, he insists he means it. Despite retiring multiple times before, he explains that his upcoming fight against Peyton Talbot could truly be his last, even suggesting that Dana White may cut him from the UFC afterward. Henry reflects on why he ever returned in the first place, saying it came down to family and legacy. He wanted his kids to have a better life, and fighting was the fastest way to secure that. He admits he didn't necessarily need to come back because he was already making good money, but his goals shifted. If building a stronger future for his family required stepping back into the cage, then that's what he felt he had to do. Henry talks about regret, saying he might even regret returning at all. In wrestling, he felt the same way. After giving everything to the sport, he began to hate it. He remembers the pressure of standing at the Olympic Games thinking, what if I don't win? Then he won, walked away, and meant it. That moment of conquering something completely was what he chased. But in MMA, people keep telling him he still has it. Captain Eric pushes him to fight 10 more times, but Henry says that desire just isn't in him anymore. He still has the physical ability, but mentally, he knows there's a time and place to step away. He mentions his 2 children and how he doesn't want to put fear in them by continuing to fight. Growing up, he remembers living in a tough neighborhood and seeing violent moments that stuck with him. He recalls being around 7 or 8, watching gang members fight in the street, feeling his heart pound, and realizing how intense and frightening it was. He doesn't want his kids to feel that same fear knowing their father is stepping into dangerous situations. Henry says all his new comments are sincere, even if fans think otherwise. People flood the comments claiming he said all this before, and then that he'll eventually come back again. But he insists this time is different. He believes Dana might actually cut him because of everything happening now, and he knows he can't take that lightly. For him, it's about protecting his family, understanding his limits, and realizing what matters most. As he puts it, his intention is real, and if tomorrow's fight truly marks the end, then he's ready to walk away for good. Moving on to another news. Islam Makhachev is back in the gym and looking sharper than ever. In a new video posted on his social media, he's seen dominating training partners with clean transitions, smooth grappling, and effortless submissions. Islam pushes the pace from the first exchange, controlling every scramble and reminding fans why he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the world. As he prepares for his first 170-pound title defense, his timing, pressure, and conditioning all look locked in. The session shows him drilling non-stop, mixing striking entries with takedowns, and finishing with tight chokes that force quick taps. Islam looks focused, motivated, and ready to silence anyone doubting his move up in weight. He ends the clip by thanking his team and promising an even stronger year ahead, saying last year was only the beginning, and he's aiming to dominate every opponent who steps in front of him. Moving on to another news. Merab explains why he usually roots for his former opponents to win after he fights them, whether he beat them or lost to them, because their success makes him look better as well. If someone he shared the cage with goes on to win big fights, it reflects positively on him. But he says there's one clear exception to that rule: Umar. Merab says Umar is the only former opponent he refuses to cheer for, and he openly rooted against him when Umar fought Bista. He admits he wanted Bista to win and still doesn't cheer for Umar at all. Merab explains that the issue started with disrespect, not competition. He says if someone disrespects you publicly, especially on social media, you have to say something. But in his case, what bothered him even more was that Umar allowed someone else to use his Twitter account to send messages on his behalf. According to Merab, whoever was using Umar's account sent him a disrespectful message and even called him a fake champion. For Merab, that crossed the line. He says nobody should ever let someone else take over their social media and use it to insult other fighters. If you're going to say something, at least say it yourself, stand behind it, and own it. He emphasizes that he would never allow anyone to tweet from his account, let alone send messages attacking another fighter. That's why this situation stuck with him. From that moment on, he couldn't support Umar in any fight, no matter who he was facing. Merab says it's not about ego or rivalry, it's simply about respect. Once that line was crossed, he couldn't cheer for him again. Despite normally supporting all his former opponents, hoping their victories make his own achievements look stronger, the disrespect from Umar's camp changed his perspective entirely. Merab says he's honest about it. He doesn't like cheering against people. But in Umar's case, he makes an exception and doesn't hide it. Moving on to another news. Marvin Vettori says he absolutely has to beat Bruno Feeta tomorrow at UFC 323 to snap his 3-fight losing streak. At 32 years old, Vettori believes he still has plenty to offer and wants to prove he can rebuild himself and climb back toward the top. Speaking with MMA Junkie, he explained that over the past few years, he lost touch with some of the things that once made him successful. Techniques that used to work stopped clicking, and in a few fights, he began doubting himself. Once that doubt crept in, everything slowly started to crumble. Vettori says it took time to figure everything out again, but now he feels centered, mature, and much more self-aware. He believes he has finally found his place at American Top Team, where he's been rebuilding step by step. He describes the process as laying bricks, slowly but consistently, as he works his way back toward the top of the division. He says being 32 isn't a setback for him at all, and insists he still has a lot to give. Nothing is lost, and he still has every opportunity to show the world that he can come back and make another run. He says there's no point dwelling on the past. What matters is winning this fight. For Vettori, this one is a must-win. Not just in the usual way every fight matters, but in a deeper, more urgent sense. He says he doesn't see how Bruno Feeta can take this one from him, and he fully intends to get the job done and restart his journey from here. He's not calling Feeta an easy opponent, and he points out that no one at this level is ever easy. But he admits this may be a slight notch down from the competition he's been facing recently, though that doesn't mean he's taking him lightly. In fact, Vettori believes he had the best training camp of his life and is ready to show it. Meanwhile, Bruno Feeta missed weight by 3 pounds, weighing in at 189 pounds. According to MMAfighting.com, the fight will still proceed, but Feeta will now forfeit 20% of his purse to Marvin Vettori. Moving on to another news. Brandon Moreno is set to face Tatsuro Taira tomorrow at UFC 323, and he believes that with a real statement win, he could be right back in line for another flyweight title shot. For context, Moreno has already faced the current champion, Alexandre Pantoja, 3 times. Their first meeting was back in 2016 on The Ultimate Fighter Season 24, where Moreno was submitted. They met again in 2018 at a UFC Fight Night, and that time Moreno lost by unanimous decision. Most recently, they fought at UFC 290 in 2023. where Moreno lost the flyweight title by a close split decision. So heading into this weekend, Moreno knows exactly what's at stake and what a win could mean for his future. He said he's 100% confident that a strong performance could put him next in line. But at the end of the day, no one truly knows what the UFC is planning behind the scenes. What he can control is his preparation and the way he shows up on December 6. His goal is simple: make a huge statement, leave no doubt, and put it clearly on the table that he should be the next title challenger. He feels the flyweight division is finally moving again. For a while, things were stuck, but now momentum is back. The belt is being defended, contenders are emerging, and big matchups are happening consistently. Moreno pointed to recent and upcoming fights, saying the division has real activity again. He mentioned how exciting it is to see title contention fights scheduled, and he referenced upcoming matchups like Manel Kape against Kai Kara France, as well as recent fights like Kibuchi stepping in and making noise. For Moreno, that energy matters. It means opportunities are opening up, and all he has to do is capitalize on his moment tomorrow. As he continued, the discussion shifted to promotional content, highlighting that December doesn't have to be the most expensive month if fans are betting smart with MyBookie. With UFC 323 right around the corner, there are plenty of ways to get involved, including boosted creator and fighter picks, money lines, props, round totals, and constantly updating live odds. New users can sign up with a special code to have their first bet covered up to $500. And if that first bet misses, they can use a bonus token to run it back. The message was simple: take your shot, build your bankroll, and roll into the weekend with house money. The focus then returned to Moreno's mindset, the pressure, and the opportunity in front of him. If he delivers a statement win against Tira, he believes the road back to Pantoja could open once again, and he's ready to prove he belongs in that spot. Moving on to another news. Ilia showed up at UFC 323 to support Merab ahead of his massive rematch with Petr Yan, and right after meeting him backstage, he sat down for a quick interview on a Georgian YouTube channel. Naturally, the conversation shifted straight to the newly announced fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, and Ilia did not hold back one bit. As soon as Justin's name came up, Ilia went off, dismissing Gaethje's whole skill set, saying he has no real grappling threat, folds when things get tough on the ground, and quits as soon as he feels uncomfortable. It was a sharp take, especially considering Justin has always shown Ilia nothing but respect, praising his punching power and the way he mixes his striking. Hearing Ilia fire shots like that caught fans off guard. But at the same time, nobody who follows him was surprised. This is simply who he is. He talks wild about almost everyone on the roster, whether they praise him or criticize him. A potential Ilia versus Gaethje showdown would be absolute chaos. But for now, the highlight has to get through Paddy Pimblett first, which is no easy task. Ilia is expected to face the winner in the spring, with #1 contender Arman keeping a close eye on everything. During the interview, Ilia doubled down even harder and said Gaethje is a terrible fighter, and his grappling is atrocious. He said he doesn't even know how to describe it. He recalled being cage-side during Justin's fight with Khabib, and claimed Gaethje looked scared even before entering the octagon. According to him, Justin basically panicked and had no real confidence in his own wrestling or defensive grappling. He added that when Khabib secured the choke, Justin didn't even try to escape, he just gave up. Ilia admitted Khabib is obviously the better grappler, but quitting like that was pathetic in his eyes. He went even further, saying he wouldn't give Gaethje a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and even during the stand-up exchanges that night, Gaethje looked stiff, shelled up, and almost afraid. Ilia insisted none of these fighters are on his level, and he believes that once he gets back inside the octagon, he'll prove it again. Fans had mixed reactions, with some calling Ilia's comments unnecessary, since Gaethje has always shown respect, while others said this is just classic Ilia, building hype and keeping his name buzzing, especially with Merab, Arman, and the rest of the division doing big things this week. With UFC 323 around the corner, and so many storylines unfolding, the tension only continues to grow, and Ilia making these kinds of statements ensures he stays right at the center of attention. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev has spoken out following UFC Qatar, and he had major praise for Arman after his dominant performance. Islam said Arman did exactly what a true #1 contender is supposed to do, and while he expected Arman to win, he didn't expect that level of domination over Dan Hooker. Islam explained that Arman didn't just win, he made a real statement, proving beyond doubt that he's earned his title shot. Then Islam admitted something surprising. He actually regrets not moving up to welterweight earlier in his career. For years, he forced himself through brutal weight cuts even after becoming champion, thinking he needed to stay at lightweight. But when he finally stepped into his recent welterweight fight, he realized he wasn't undersized at all. He felt just as big as his opponent, and that made him understand he could have moved up a long time ago, instead of draining himself year after year. And while Islam's run at 170 is making global headlines, Shavkat Rakhmonov stepped into the conversation and added more fuel to the fire. Shavkat questioned just how impressive Islam's win over JDM truly was, and he didn't hesitate to say he wants to find out for himself. A fight between Shavkat and Islam would be massive, especially in the Russian and Central Asian regions, where Shavkat is already a rising superstar. Years ago, even rumors of him fighting Khamzat blew up the entire Russian MMA community, and now adding Islam's name to that discussion has fans imagining one of the most dangerous, undefeated fighters on the roster, circling the new two-division champion. When he was asked whether he was surprised by how dominant Islam looked in his 170 debut against JDM, Shavkat said Islam had a great performance. But he wants to know whether JDM simply had a bad night or whether Islam was truly that good. He believes he's a universal fighter who can make the fight difficult anywhere it goes, whether striking, clinching, or grappling. He said he wants to find out for himself what happens if they ever share the octagon. Meanwhile, a big surprise might be brewing in the lightweight division. Top welterweight Sean Brady revealed he's strongly considering dropping to 155, and he said the chances of it happening are very high. He explained that the cut is doable, and the matchups at lightweight interest him far more. Brady is coming off a knockout loss to the undefeated Michael Morales, who is quietly building his own case to chase Islam's throne. If Brady really makes that drop, the lightweight division becomes even more chaotic, adding another contender to an already stacked lineup, and adding even more pressure to Arman, Islam, and everyone near the top of the rankings.